All right, guys, as you may have noticed, we are finishing up chapter 10, which was multiplying and dividing fractions. So I'm going to do some review problems with you, and then I'm going to assign you a quiz. So make sure you watch this video. And if you still have questions about a particular skill, I've added every video known to man that I could find from myself, from YouTube, and you can click through those and find the topic that you need. So you're going to have to think smart here and say, oh, if I don't know how to do this, I need this. So please make sure you know yourself and you understand what you know and what you need to know. I am going to show you a couple of examples from each lesson. Let's take a look at our first example. Now we have 1/2 of 6. So I realize that I have a fraction and I have a whole number. So in order to do this problem, I need two fractions. And the easiest way to do that is just pop a tail. So I need to put a 1 as my denominator under the whole number. So if I had a 7, it would be 7 over 1. If I had 23, it would be 23 over 1. Anytime you have a whole number, you're working with fractions, place your denominator of 1 underneath the whole number so you can do the operation that you need to. So now we have 1/2 times 6 over 1. And all I do is multiply across. Easy peasy. 6 times 1 is 6. 2 times 1 is 2. So 6 over 2 is an improper fraction. Improper fractions have larger numerators than they have denominators. So you can see here the 6 is larger than the 2. So I simply do a division problem. 2 goes into 6 3 times. So 6 over 2 is the same as 3. So 1/2 of 6 is 3, which makes sense, right? Half of 6 is 3. So 1/2 times 6 is 3. All right, now we have a straightforward example. We have a fraction times a fraction. So 2/3 of 1/4. I don't need to change anything because I have regular fraction times a regular fraction. There's no whole number, there's no mixed number. I don't have to do anything except multiply across. So that's what I'm going to do. 2 times 1 is 2, and 3 times 4 is 12. So I'm looking at my answer, 2/12. They're both even. That numerator and denominator are even. The numerator and the denominator are even. So I can divide them both by, you guessed it, 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 12 divided by 2 is 6. So 2/3 of 1/4 is 1/6. All right, this is our last example for multiplying. You may have noticed there is a pesky mixed number here. Now, when we have a mixed number, we have to convert it to an improper fraction and then multiply across. So the way we do that is we multiply the denominator by the whole number, and then we add that answer to the numerator. So 10 times 1 is 10, plus 1 is 11. So my numerator is 11. Let's see if I can help. There we go. And my denominator stays the same. So if it's 10 up here, it's going to be 10 right here. So 1 and 1/10 is the same as 11/10. Now I'm going to multiply that by 2/5. I don't have to change 2/5 because it's a plain old fraction. It's fine. So 11/10 of 2/5. So I'm going to multiply across my numerator to numerator, denominator to denominator. 11 times 2 is 22. And 10 times 5 is 50. Now, looking at these, I can see that they are both even again. So I can divide by 2, or I can find a factor that's larger. But let's try 2, see if that works. 22 divided by 2 is 11. And 50 divided by 2 is 25. So 11/25. Can I divide that by 2 again? No. Does 11 and 25 share any factors? No. because the only factors, of 11 are 1 and 11, and that doesn't work for 25. So we can leave it alone. It's simplified. It's good to go. So 1 and 1/10 of 2/5 is 11/25. All right, guys. So to wrap up multiplying fractions, all you need to do is check. See if there's any mixed numbers or whole numbers that you need to change. And if you do, change them. So make sure that happens first. Then you're going to multiply across, numerator to numerator, denominator to denominator. And then lastly, you're going to simplify. Make sure you check 2's, 3's, see if there's any factors that they have in common that you can easily divide by. All right, next up, division. Okay, now we're going to do some division. And this is actually kind of fun to me, maybe because I'm a teacher. This is the kind of fun that I like to have. I don't know. So when we divide fractions, we use this thing called keep, change, flip. And if you watch the videos from last week, I definitely had that song stuck in my head for days. If you divide by a fraction, here's a tip. Keep, change, flip. All right, enough, because now I'm going to have it stuck in my head again. Thank you very much, YouTube. All right, so let's go through this process of keep, change, and flip. So here we have 6 divided by 1/3. Now, again, if you see a whole number or a mixed number, change it first. So here we have a whole number. We know that if we have a whole number, all we do is add a denominator of 1. So I'm good now. Now I can do my keep, change, flip. So first things first, I'm going to keep. Not touching that one. So 6 over 1 stays 6 over 1. I'm going to change to a multiplication symbol. And then I'm going to flip. So the 3 is now on top. The 1 is on the bottom. And I'm just going to multiply across. So 6 times 3 is 18. And 1 times 1 is 1. And 18 divided by 1, you guessed it, 18. All right, here's another example. Now this time, I don't see any whole numbers or mixed numbers that I need to change. So I can simply use my keep, change, flip. So let's go through those steps. First things first, keep. So 5, 6 stays the same. Now I'm going to change division to multiplication, and I'm going to flip. So now the 2 is on top, 1 is on the bottom. So now I have 5, 6 times 2 over 1. All right, now let's multiply across. 5 times 2 is 10. 6 times 1 is 6. Now, if you look at this, you should see right away that this is an improper fraction. The 10 is larger than the 6. The numerator is larger than the denominator, so I have to divide. So, how many times does 6 go into 10? You should know that's 1 time. My 6, my remainder is 4. So, my answer is going to be 1 and 4, 6. Now you guessed it, we can simplify that because 4 and 6 are both even. So it becomes 1 and 2 thirds. So 5/6 divided by 1/2 equals 1 and 2 thirds. All right, guys, here's our last example for division. Now notice, something should strike your eye right away. You should see that there is a mixed number here. So before I do anything with keep, change, flip, I have to change my mixed number to an improper fraction. And the way I do that is I multiply the denominator by the whole number and add the numerator. Keep my denominator. So 7 times 1 is 7, plus 3 is 10. Denominator stays the same, so it's going to be 7 divided by 1/3. Now I can keep, change, flip. So let's do that. So first things first, grab a different color so you guys can see. So I'm going to keep the first one. So 10/7, change to multiplication, and flip this one. All right, cool. Now we're going to multiply across. 10 times 3 is 30. 7 times 1 is 7. Sorry, kids, not done. Gracefully move that back and not scare my cat over here. All right, so now I have to divide. 30 divided by 7. So 7 goes into 30. Well, I know that 7 times 4 is 28 and 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times 5 being 35, it's too big. Can't use that one. But I can use 7 times 4. So 7 times 4 is 28. Subtract, gets 2. My remainder is 2. So my answer is going to be 4. That's my whole number. 2 is my numerator. And 7 is my denominator. Start it on over. So 1 3/7 divided by 1/3 is 4 2/7. All right, guys. So just to recap division with fractions, you are going to first change those mixed numbers and whole numbers. If it's a whole number, put a 1 under it. If it's a mixed number, make it an improper fraction. Step 2, keep, change, flip. Divide by fraction. Here's a tip. Keep, change, flip. Sorry, it's stuck in my head. It happened. And the last thing, you're going to solve and simplify. All right, guys. Again, as I said, please make sure that you check all the YouTube videos, all the lesson videos, so that you are right on track to take that quiz and ace it. I can't wait to see your scores. I know you guys are going to be awesome. So take care, and I'll see you soon.